Okay, I'm here with Eymard De Ocampo with Torre and Associates Insurance Services, and I want to find out a little bit about his business.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. As Chris mentioned, I'm Eymard De Ocampo with Torre and Associates Insurance Services. We are a family-owned insurance brokerage firm based here in San Mateo, and work with a number of small business owners from 2 employees all the way up to 150 employees on their insurance benefits, and that is basically providing group coverage for your staff and employees, medical, dental, life insurance, disability, all under the group umbrella and group policies. So,
Well, thank you. Thanks for the introduction. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your background, just something brief, where you grew up,
Sure,
things like that.
So I grew up right here in San Mateo, moved from the Philippines when I was 2, and spent all my life here in San Mateo, elementary school, high school. The only time I ever moved away was 2 years down in San Diego. After I got my degree in communications, flew back up, lived at home with the parents for a while, and never left again. So, San Mateo has been my home, and love it here.
Okay. All right. So what did you do before you got started with Torre and Associates?
Yeah, I worked with a number of insurance brokerage firms prior to Torre and Associates. We call them the big houses, up in San Francisco as well as down in San Jose. So I've jumped around a little bit in my career. Prior to that, right out of college, I should say, I started with a carrier here locally, and I was the person that was on the back of your medical card that you called on the 1-800 number. So that was sort of my introduction into the insurance industry, and I loved talking. I loved being on the phone. I loved being able to help people and answer questions about their, not in this case, their insurance plans. And so that was where I first started in the insurance business, and that grew from member services all the way up to provider relations, which oddly enough, there was a position out there called provider relations where you actually visited the doctor's offices, and you rated them. You rated them for cleanliness. You made sure that their prescription drugs in their cabinets were locked up accordingly. You made sure that they were not expired. Made sure like the files were kept in a secured area, and it's a really fun job to be able to go around and go around the peninsula and do these provider office visits. So after that led into jumping into the actual broker industry, where I was able to learn all the other insurance lines of coverages, such as disability, life insurance. Where prior to that I was just medical, but jumping into the insurance broker industry, I was able to learn all the other insurance coverages that are out there. So that was really appealing to me because it just opened the whole kind of insurance world to me. So.
Okay. So that's basically how you got into employee benefits then?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. Thanks for the overview.
Yeah.
Speaking of employee benefits, what should business owners and companies consider when they're deciding to offer benefits?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Chris. What business owners should consider when deciding whether employee benefits is good for them is 2 things that I think is really important is they got to factor in their budget, right? Healthcare coverage, employee benefits coverage is probably the 3rd most expensive expense to an owner, being payroll, and then your office space, your commercial space. So it's really important that business owners really have to consider budgeting what that cost is to offer benefits. Then you want to make sure that does it have value? Will the employees value benefits? Is this a value proposition to your company? Does it help attract and retain your staff and your employees. If you're a business that needs steady staffing or is looking for growth, when you're competing with other companies, you want to determine whether or not, do employees value employee benefits, and then, does it attract and retain? Is one aspect. Yeah.
So that's actually curious to me when you say, will an employee value the benefits? When I think about how expensive things are, healthcare and so forth, it seems unusual to me that somebody wouldn't value that.
Yeah, I mean, it's another thing that an owner should consider is what's the perception when a business owner provides employee benefits? Do employees look at it as, oh, my company recognizes and values me and cares about my health? And so when when you offer benefits, you're showing your staff, hey, I care about your health. I care about your well-being. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be as productive as you can be, while you're, working here.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And this is off my standard list of questions here. But when you say, do people value my health, or does my employer value my health? Mm-hmm. Is there any kind of study that says companies that offer healthcare benefits or employee benefits, that they kind of outperform companies that don't?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the actual statistics, but you could see with the Great Recession or the Great Resignation after the pandemic, a lot of employees didn't come back to their positions. And one way to do that was to offer benefits, or the people that did come back were people that needed their benefits, and so they came back into the workforce because of just that reason. Because getting individual coverage could be pretty taxing. It could be pretty expensive on your own as well.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So then the next question is specific to your brokerage. What separates you from other broker agencies?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, like being in customer service and member services as the sort of the genesis of my career, I really prioritize in our firm. We really prioritize service, making sure that we take care of our clients. We put together service calendars so our clients know what's up ahead in the planned year. We help them with employee communications. We help them be compliant with a lot of the ERISA guidelines.
Okay.
And
ERISA guidelines?
ERISA is the Employer Reimbursed Retirement Income Securities Act, and that's the governing agent or governing body that basically enforces all the benefit rules. Things like a summary plan description, which is your what we call a wrap document, and that's a compliance document that all businesses should have when they offer benefits. And what that does is it basically is a document that fills the voids. When you get the carrier documents, they're that 100 and 195 page evidence of coverage booklet. You'd get that on your desk, and it'd be this thick. Believe it or not, those documents don't comply with a lot of the ERISA rules, and so the employers are responsible for filling in those gaps, and that's what we call the summary plan description, the wrap document. So in order to be compliant, you have to have that wrap document, and at De Torre and Associates, that's something that we can help you with and help you provide. Other things that separate us is De Torre and Associates. We really value education, and that's we empower our clients with knowledge, with newsletters, white papers. We want to make sure that they know what's going on in the industry, and we'll provide them with all the resources that they need in order to successfully build a employee benefits program.
Okay. So then again, something else you mentioned about the wrap document and being in compliance with ERISA. So is there a possibility that there are brokerages out there that might offer you a program that's not necessarily compliant with ERISA then?
Yeah, I mean, there's, certainly, unfortunately, I've often heard that, like small businesses don't get the attention that they should be getting from their broker.
Okay.
The larger firms, the larger companies, typically get a lot of attention. And so at Torre and Associates, we really focus on helping our small business clients and making sure that they, have all the necessary documents that they need in order to avoid penalties and audits.
Okay. That seems pretty important, so I'm glad that you do that. The next question I've got here is, what should business owners be concerned about other than benefits?
Just the compliance that I talked about, making sure that you have all the necessary compliance materials. There are other things like model notices that you're supposed to be sending out on a yearly basis. Those are your COBRA notices, your Women's Rights Acts notices, your children's health insurance plan notices. All of these things have to be sent annually. And, if you miss the boat on that, there can be some penalties. So definitely a lot of other things to worry about with compliance.
Okay. It seems like there's a lot of compliance issues there.
Yeah.
So it's good you keep track of that. And next question is, how can you help companies streamline their open enrollment? I know you're always talking about the open enrollment period, so tell me a little bit about that.
So one of the ways that we can help streamline employers through the open enrollment process is we could provide a online eligibility portal, which eliminates all the paper forms when you have to fill out like a medical enrollment form, a dental enrollment form, a vision enrollment form, all the employee data that goes into a form that you need that takes time to fill out, and then you have to collect all that.
Okay.
And then physically send that over to the carrier. Well, we could provide a online eligibility portal where your employees can enroll, via their laptop or their phone, and so that's one way that we help streamline the open enrollment process. Of course, we help with the communications. We provide what's called an open enrollment memo, so employees know exactly what they need to do during the open enrollment process.
Okay. That's good. Next question then is how can you help an organization reduce their healthcare costs?
Yeah, in the small group market, which is 100 lives, 100 employees.
Okay.
Rates remain the same for broker A to broker B, from carrier A to carrier B. They're always going to be exactly the same. Okay. Rates are based on each individual's age and their employer's zip code, right? The price for San Mateo is going to be different than the price for, let's say, Fresno.
Okay.
Okay, and so getting savings isn't as easy as hopping from one broker or one carrier to the other. What's really important is being able to find the right plan that fits the company and the staff. And so finding a plan that has that value, whether it's high deductibles and low premiums, or low deductibles and high premiums, finding that fit for your staff is really important. There are some savings in when employers offer group medical, you do get some tax savings, by taking pre-tax dollars off of your staff and your employees
Okay.
lowers not only their taxable income, but lowers the company's taxes as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Roger's
someone
got a
else-
question.
Roger's got a question, so go ahead. Oh, 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay, we
Oh.
go. Thanks for the warning there. So then, to kind of play off of what you're talking about, helping companies save money by choosing the right plan, do you find that companies on a year-to-year basis, based upon changes in their company, that they might switch plans because one might make more sense the next year than it does this year?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Depending on the culture of the company, what the employer is looking to provide their employees and staff, is it being valued by the employees? There's several hundreds of plans that are out there in the small group market, and you might have heard of the metallic tiers: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum.
Okay.
And you got the bronze plans, which have the high deductible, low premiums, to the platinum plans, which are the zero deductible to low deductibles to high premiums. So finding a plan in between is really important. And then by doing a lot of the shopping and going to the market for your client, for our client, that's a way we can help find and pinpoint the right plan that might offer some savings at renewal.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. And then the last question is, how do you recommend attracting and retaining employees in the current business environment?
Yeah, so aside from medical, which is the major core of, that drives the benefits program, I mean, there are other plans that employees might need, and we're talking about like disability insurance. While here in California we have state disability, but does that really cover and supplement your income should something happen, right? Should you become disabled? Probably not. So an employer might think about, offering a disability, additional disability coverage,
Okay.
to help them, get to a point where their salary gets to a point where they might not struggle if they can no longer work, whether that's long term or short term. So there's things like pet insurance, group pet insurance, that is pretty popular now amongst a lot of employer groups, and so wellness programs, a number of things that employers are now looking to offer in order to be competitive in attracting and retaining employees.
Okay, so now when you say pet insurance, this might be a stupid question, but as a pet owner, are you talking about like pets as in the little furry animals that we all keep at home?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that-
There's
okay.
there's pet insurance for your pets. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that would make me want to come to work at your company or at somebody's company.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, thank you. And I think we're about out of time here. Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
did you have a question,
Yeah,
Roger?
we have a quick question here for the gentleman from De La Torre and Associates. So you referenced small businesses and you referenced the metal plans, the metal tiers. So in a small business, when they choose, do they have to choose the same metallic tier for all employees, or can employees have different tier levels?
yeah,
Just
good.
Repeat that question just
Yeah.
so that Mike picks it up.
So the question was the metallic benefit levels, the bronze, silver, gold, platinum. The question was, do you only offer just the one single metallic levels, or can you offer a wide variety of plans within those metallic levels? And the answer is yes. You could offer plans within the bronze as well as gold, silver. So in the small group market, you have the freedom to offer various plans to your employees, so they have a number of choices that fit their needs,
Okay, that's good.
along with the various different carriers. So you could offer in one market, you could offer Kaiser, and then you could offer a Blue Shield plan, and that's really important because if you're looking to provide choice for your staff, then it's important that you could do that.
Okay, that's good. So do we have any other questions from the audience? No.
One. So you're saying like Kaiser or Blue Cross Blue Shield, employees within that group can choose between that, or the company says we're Kaiser, or?
Yeah. So no. So in the small group market, an employer can. There's two shopping markets. Well, there's three shopping markets to go to. You may have heard of Covered California. You hear the ads on the radio. There's private markets called Cal Choice, and then there's the direct market where you actually go directly to the carrier. When you offer group plans under the private market and the public market, you're able to offer multiple metallic plans as well as multiple carriers. So yes, you can offer like a Kaiser and a Blue Shield together. So you're not just siloed into just one carrier offerings. And that's what makes the small group market different than the large group market, is that they make it easier for small group business owners to offer choice.
Okay. Okay. Good. So one more. We have time for one more question. Okay, Kiara, is that?
So in your example of San Mateo versus Fresno, I'm curious which one would be more, like Fresno because pollution, or is it?
Yeah, no,
living, or
good question. So a lot of the cost is driven by your provider network, and so given we have Stanford in this area, we've got UCSF, we've got the Sutter systems. The Bay Area would be priced a lot higher than Fresno, for example. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, so I think we're out of time. Thank you, everyone.
Chris.
And just so everyone knows who's watching this, if you're not in the audience here, Eymard De Ocampo, De La Torre and Associates Insurance Services, and you will find a link to his contact info, social media at the end of this video. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.